Okay, so let's get into this. We're doing a deep dive on a product that honestly looks like it was pulled from a 1998 catalog.
Right.
It's the NTI VOPEX-2KVIM-A. It's a VGA and PS2 KVM splitter.
And it's in stock right now.
Yeah, for $320. So my first thought is, $320 for VGA and PS2 ports. The mission today is to figure out why this very specific, very legacy-looking tech is still so expensive and apparently still so necessary.
It really is a paradox, isn't it? But this isn't about nostalgia. It's all about, well, it's about control and sheer resilience.
So what does it actually do?
It lets up to 4 users share one single PS2 computer. And we're not just talking about watching the screen.
No.
We're talking about 4 people who can potentially be entering data, into the same program at the same time. It's a tool for managed data entry, basically.
That idea of shared simultaneous access, like a shared brain, that only really works if the environment is super controlled.
Exactly. And that gets us to the core application. The source material is very clear. This is for accessing a PC from inside and outside of a clean room.
Okay. The clean room. That changes everything.
It dictates everything. You have to keep the PC itself, the box that makes heat and kicks up dust, you have to keep it physically separate.
Right, while the keyboard and mouse stay inside.
And it has to be reliable. That's why it supports these, deeply embedded systems like RS6000, SGI, HP 9000, stuff you just can't swap out for a modern desktop.
And for that to work, the connection has to be absolutely rock solid. So let's look at the specs they chose. It's classic VGA, but it still pushes a pretty decent resolution.
1920 by 1200.
Which is more than enough for this kind of work. And the keyboard and mouse, they use those old minute-in PS2 connectors.
Which are just so much more robust. They're way less prone to failure than, say, the tiny little pins on a USB-C connector. They just work.
And you can separate them by a pretty good distance.
A significant distance, yeah. The system uses a special 3-in-1 cable. It lets you extend the keyboard, monitor, and mouse up to 100 feet.
30 meters?
Exactly. That's the distance you need to stick the computer securely behind a wall, completely outside that controlled environment.
And what's interesting is they even built in optional audio.
Yeah, CD quality stereo output. It's a surprising amount of fidelity for what is essentially industrial hardware.
Okay, but if we connect all this back, the reliability numbers, that's what really justifies the price, right?
Absolutely. We can skip the physical dimensions, but we cannot skip the mean time between failures, the MTBF.
And for this model, the MTBF is documented at 81,566 hours.
Yeah.
That number needs some context. What does 81,000 hours actually mean for the person using it?
It means this little box is rated to run without a single failure for almost 9.5 years. Straight? So when you have a high-stakes system, maybe monitoring a nuclear facility or a specialized manufacturing line, that guaranteed lifespan is just. It's infinitely more valuable than a fragile, high-speed USB hub. It's a totally different engineering philosophy.
And it's not just durable, it's also compliant. It's authorized.
It's got CE, OOHS, and this is the big one for some buyers. It is TAA compliant.
Which means it's approved for U.S. government purchasing.
That's the one. So when you combine that TAA compliance with the huge MTBF and the 2-year warranty, you realize this isn't legacy hardware. It's a high-security, ultra-reliable, long-term investment.
So wrapping this up, our deep dive shows that in these critical controlled environments, simplicity and reliability, the things that VGA and PS2 embody, they will always win out over the convenience of modern standards.
It's a great lesson. We often think of high-tech as speed and features, but mission-critical tech. That's defined by stability and a guaranteed lifespan.
So here's something for you to think about. Considering this reliance on proven, stable tech, what modern universal standard of today, like, say, high-speed USB or Ethernet, might big organizations quietly start abandoning in 10 or 20 years, going back to simpler, more reliable equivalents when that guaranteed operational time is the only thing that actually matters?